As Jeannie talks about it, Matt, you can probably pan back to the right. There's a wrecker's picking up a vehicle that tried to make this water. Didn't do it.
Okay. Is there a rescue going on?
Well, there was a wrecker. He turned around. I guess I thought he was going to hook somebody up, but it looks like he's just decides he's not going to even go through that water.
Good morning. You're looking at a flooded area. This is about West Little York off of 290. You can see cars are not making their way over. That's actually Cold Creek Bayou, which eventually goes into White Oak Bayou, and we've heard all the problems down there, and you can see the water here is at its banks. But over there, if you look up a little, you can see that that area is underwater, and there really aren't any cars going through that area. Now, earlier we showed you there was high water on I-10. Well, take a look. If we move over to our right, there's a lot of residential street flooding, and a lot of the smaller streets are underwater. You can see over here that there are emergency crews on scene and that they're not letting cars pass through this area. Actually, one car is trying to make its way over in that area, but you can see just how high the water is. And again, we're seeing this over and over all throughout Houston.
Well, you know, we've seen several accidents coming over here on 290. There was one, and that just exacerbates the problem with people trying to get either to work or back home or whatever the situation is. But I definitely agree with you, Ogle. They need not get in these water situations because it will definitely cause problems, not even as they go through and they do stall, but later on the water gets up into the engine and it'll cause after effect problems. Accident-wise, we've seen a few, not a lot. People are basically being pretty cautious. Yeah, they're everywhere. It's every street that we've passed by. We're kind of off in a residential area at this point, and this is just one example of many sightings that we've seen. Well, I keep the aircraft down in the Pearland-Alvin area, and as I came over, it's just wet everywhere. All of the bayous are swollen to their max, just like Cold Creek is here. Every one that I passed over, Sims Bayou, Brays Bayou, everything is just at its max. Any more rain, as Chuck said earlier, we're all in trouble for some major flooding.
And just to add, you can see how fast the water is flowing in those bayous. Look at all that debris that is just being pushed down. And that, of course, can help situations. It'll help clog things up, and there could be eventually more street flooding as this makes its way down.
Well, I've been here for several hurricanes, and this is as bad as it gets, folks, as far as we've had so much rain in the last 24 hours that I say it's as bad as it gets. It could get worse, I guess. But typically the bayous do fill up like this. Fortunately, I think the management people that have worked on the bayous have done a great job, and it will run off pretty rapidly. The problem is we've got a lot of water in the outlying little creeks that are going to all come down and work their way south through all of these bayous, and we're still in for some pretty good flooding. It could stop raining right now, and we're still going to have higher water as the day goes on. Yeah, I got you. Well, it could start this afternoon as long as we don't get any more rain. I think it's still going to come up somewhat because all of the runoff has got to hit these bayous and make its way down to the Gulf. But as long as the rain stops, the subsidence will start pretty quick. Again, they've done a great job of of getting these bios taken. Jenny, you had something you wanted to add?
Yeah, you can see, you know, that is also happening over and over. People pushing out cars. Their cars are getting stalled. A lot of car places are going to have some visits today because people were trying to get through high water where they didn't expect it. And just to emphasize the point, what Rod was saying from his experience of living in the area, from my experience here, you know, usually we know there's rain coming and we can expect some streets to back up, but I really think that everyone was so busy looking down in Galveston, the coastal areas, that we thought, you know, Houston, it's a little bit further away, and then sure enough, you wake up and there are a lot of problems in the Houston area now. It really does, and there's no telling what other areas there are that could be even deeper. So this is probably just a good example of just one area that is underwater. Absolutely, we are.
Okay, let's head out of here then. Good job, Matt. Good job. Look at that. School bus, too. Two school buses.
Where is it? Where is it?
That's still Antoine. Eisenhower High School is pretty close to here.
Are they still in the car?
That's on us, yeah. But
Can I
no.
talk?
Yeah, but you can talk, but they're not on your mic.
Are there people still in the bus?
There's a bus driver in it, yep. Control room, I don't know if you can hear us, but there's Metro bus, school buses.
Chopper 2 to news desk, do you want to take us? Take a look at our picture. Yeah. Can you zoom in what this person is doing to the Metro bus? Is that, can you zoom in? I wonder if that's fire personnel going to the buses. Is this Antone?
Antone.
It's not Antoine?
Antoine. Antone is the restaurant.
Imagine if I said Antone on air.
Chopper 2, go ahead. Well, I'm a little south of there. We never got there because we couldn't. The weather kept us from getting there. But we're right here on Antoine, just south of 411Q. Antoine and West Little York, just a little bit north of it.